It's 82 right now.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Missed your favorite show live on air? It's easy to find what you enjoy wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. A small conversation can make a big difference. Asking someone if they're okay is important. And during the Suicide Prevention Month, check in. And remember, 988 is always open. A message from the Civic Media Radio Network.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, getting to know another candidate for the Wisconsin governor's race. State Senator Kelda Roys joins us in.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who doesn't have 20/20 vision, even in hindsight, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Nite Lite, folks. Hey, we are live. This is fun. We're doing radio on a Monday night. That's right. It is finally Monday. The long, treacherous weekend is over, and the night has arrived where we get to talk about the things in life that we love, movies, TV, sports, comedy, music, and the things that bring us together. And I think that's exciting. And let's kick the week off right. Got a great show for you guys tonight. Two outstanding guests. One a first-timer, one of our regular guests who always is a blast to have on the show. At 6:35 tonight, my pal Mike Lucas will be here. He's a great comic that I met in the 90s while we were both sort of based out of Chicago. Mike has kind of been all over since then, and he's been on The Tonight Show, and he hosted an A&E show that I worked on with him that was a lot of fun. He's a great guy and a very funny guy. He'll be here at 6:35. He's so visual, though, Con. I couldn't find a clip of his when I was looking today because a lot of his comedy he really sells with facial expressions and stuff, and that doesn't quite translate to the radio. So my other option was play his voice and have me on the stream try to mimic his expressions. And
Okay.
I don't think that would have gone over very well. So Mike Lucas at 6:35. It's going to be fun. And then our pal Frank Anderson, writer, producer, director, animator, and animated, if you get him going on the right topic, and the founder of Wisconsinology.com will be here at 7:20. Frank and I are going to talk a little bit about the Madison-Milwaukee rivalry. Did you know that there was a rivalry, Con?
Yeah. Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah. Definitely. There's a huge rivalry between the Wisconsin Badgers and Marquette Golden Eagles.
See, here's. I just think the state is not big enough to have a rivalry. Like, we should cheer for both. They're in different cities. One's a private college. One's a. It's just kind of strange, don't you think?
If Wisconsin's not up there, I'm like, all right, hopefully Marquette can do something this year, or vice versa. Yeah.
No, my brother went to Madison. Yeah. My folks met at Marquette. Like, I don't know.
I don't get it. Like, when I went to Milwaukee, I had a lot of people who would go to some of the bars downtown and like have their Wisconsin or their Marquette gear on.
Yeah.
And then cheer for their team that they wanted. But I thought it's weird. I'm like, it's cool to have them face off, but I don't know, rivalries.
Yeah.
Supposed to happen for two Wisconsin teams. Feels weird.
Not only that, but it's not like they play each other every year.
Yeah.
Or they're ever knocking each other out of the tournament. I'm sure it's happened. Anyway. So we'll talk to Frank about that, but it goes well beyond sports, the rivalry. Frank is always fun. He is a wealth of knowledge on all things Wisconsin. So two fun guests tonight. So it's a good thing you're here, folks. They're both going to entertain you and probably inform you and hopefully make you laugh. We'll see what happens. But Conrad Krieger, working the board. How are you doing today, Conrad?
I wish I could say better, but the Packers ended in a tie after a 4-hour game of football last night.
Heck, I know. So all right, I asked a neighbor of mine who's probably as big a Packer fan as you, what would you have done that last play? Would you have gone for the win on fourth down with 1 second left or take the tie?
I would have personally went, just it's early. It's a loss is whatever, here.
Were they on like the 13 or 12-yard line or something? Okay.
But also we could have had a lot more seconds if Matt LaFleur didn't call 2 screenplays in a row. That
well,
getting
that's a
0
different.
yards.
Yeah, that's a different argument. I mean, look, here's where I'm at with Matt LaFleur. I think Jordan Love is really good. I think you have good receivers. But I think they all benefit. And I know Packer fans have an issue with Matt LaFleur sometimes. I'm not saying he doesn't make mistakes down the stretch or with clock management. I think he's a really good play caller.
I agree. I just think the screen plays at the end were not his best play calls.
Yeah.
But the rest of the game, I thought he played great, or he called some good plays.
Yeah, fair enough. But I don't know. I think I probably would have gone for it too, because 2-2 isn't terrible. I mean, I know you going into your bye because the Bears have the same bye this week as the Packers, but yeah, that was a tough one. And they didn't. You know what? Dallas didn't challenge because some people said that second should have not been there.
Well, shout out to that guy who's manning that clock, because as soon as it touched that back of the Dallas player, he clicked stop.
He clicked stop.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. We have to do some research too, because I saw the funniest T-shirt I've ever seen today. It's not the funniest T-shirt I've ever seen. It's a T-shirt I would never wear.
Yeah.
And if my kid wore it, I would say, "What's the matter with you?" but it's like a T-shirt that says 2 in the blank, 1 in the blank. So this guy's walking around like that. And then this is so bizarre how the universe works. An hour later, I'm driving to Green Bay. It has to have been the same guy. Driving passes me with that T-shirt pasted up on the passenger window to keep the sun out of the car. The same T-shirt. This guy's walking around Marinette, and now he's passing me. Obviously very proud of his apparel.
He could be proud of it. He just got the shirt. He's like, I think this is a cool shirt. I want to show it off today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Show it off to every single car that I pass.
This is the one. That's my Monday shirt. People are going to look at me. They're going to think I'm cool. I don't know what it is, but it's like, oh, my God, I would never wear something like that. And, okay, on this show, too, I often say I'm an inside guy. And for the most part, I am. I did not get to go see the movie One Battle After Another.
Wow, I'm surprised you didn't see that.
Dude, I was so jazzed about this film. We had Joe on Friday night to talk about it. 2 friends of mine on Facebook. One was Ben Reiser, who's on this show, and Ben is jaded. But he said, and Ben often leaves these cryptic kind of, and it just drives me crazy when people do that. Well, that was interesting. That's the post. You have no idea what they're talking about. So you got to timestamp it, ask them in the comments, what are you talking about? But I'm not that guy. I don't do that. But Ben said, it's every bit as good as I've heard and better, or something to that effect. And I had a feeling he was talking about that movie, and he was. So even a jaded guy said it was fantastic. So, but here's where I'm going with this. This weekend, even for an inside guy, was too beautiful to spend 3 hours in a theater. It was maybe the most gorgeous weekend of the year.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't stay inside too much.
Did you golf?
I went golfing out with I did a lesson with coach.
That's what you just call. That's all you call him, coach.
And then after that, I went and worked out, and then I played a board game with my brother and my sister-in-law and my friend.
Okay, that's a fun weekend.
Villainous is the game. It's super fun.
Is that like Cards Against Humanity?
No, not even.
Oh, no?
No,
Okay.
It requires actually like skill and it's a long game, but it's fun.
Okay. I was part of a bonfire contingency on Saturday night. It was a lot of fun. And you know what? It was one of those things, like I said, it was such a great weekend. Our neighbors, I could hear their kids running around, and they had friends over, and you just hear these great young voices having a blast. And there was a friend of mine in town, and some other people came over. So we went over there just to be part of it, and ended up staying for like 2 hours. And it was it was such a gorgeous night. And I learned another thing about myself that I'm going to tell you right after we do the Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
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 Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
It is National Coffee Day, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's question is, how do you like your coffee? Or how don't you like your coffee? Do you not like coffee? Let us know. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. How do you like your coffee, or do you not like coffee? Since I started drinking coffee, I was probably about, 24. Maybe a little younger. I can't believe previous me did not like coffee.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
It's just too much of a joy in life. That's how I feel about it. I like it. I like a dark roast because it has less caffeine and I can drink more of it. And I do like to sip it. And I like it with a little bit of oat milk. And I will say this, since I discovered this great coffee shop right next door to us, Rise and Grind, Jocelyn, who's been on the show, she did the popcorn pick one week. She puts cinnamon and mixes that in with the coffee grounds. And it's delightful. So I put a splash of oat milk in there. That's how I like my coffee. Pardon me. Tell us how you like your coffee, folks. Black? What do you put in it? Or do you go latte? Do you go one of those drinks that's basically like a milkshake? Or do you like it like Conrad? How do you like your coffee? You told me before, but I can't remember.
Well, I kind of like it a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
My favorite is just an ice cold brew with some almond or oat milk. Doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
And just maybe one pump of vanilla syrup in there.
Oh, that's not too bad.
And it is delightful. It's so good.
Yeah.
But the other one I do is a cortado.
Which you're rocking right now.
Yeah. You were talking about coffee, and I was like, I could use some right now.
I talked it up too much. Well, it is National Coffee Day, folks.
Exactly.
So let's have fun with this. Let us know what your favorite coffee is, how you drink it. And I'll say, I'll give the brand. I like Pete's Coffee, Peets, no relation. I fell in love with this coffee about 20 years ago, and I found out that Pete's broke off from Starbucks. The two guys were in cahoots. They worked together, but they had some kind of, not a falling out maybe, but a parting of the ways as to how coffee should be presented. Starbucks kind of burns their beans, I think, more, makes them more bitter. And Pete's, like my friend Paul Gilmartin, who's been on the show before, has said, tastes like coffee smells. I think that is such a great slogan. And he's right. It's great stuff. So I'm with you, though, Con. I can drink it black, which I do sometimes if I'm like on a fast or something. Mm-hmm. But I don't mind a little oat milk in there or even a little cream. It's just dynamite.
I don't mind black coffee either, but it's like, but if I have the other options to add stuff to it, I will.
I'll tell you this, especially since I kind of took a break from drinking almost 3 years ago now, the highlight of my day is just making a cup of coffee and sitting out on the porch, especially when it's nice out like it still is. That is outstanding. So how do you like your coffee? You can even tell us how you like to drink it, where you like to drink it, whatever. Have fun, folks. It is National Coffee Day. And you can let us know at 855-752-4842 on the text line, or you can text us on the app, or if you're watching on X, YouTube, or Facebook, you can drop us a stream comment. All good stuff. If you're there, give us a like or a follow if you don't mind on one of our social media platforms. And I will say, here's what I was going to say. Should I do this now? Actually, I'll do this after the break because I want to get a plug in for the contest. And speaking of the app, ladies and gentlemen, everyone listening should be part of the Go for the Green and Gold Text to Win contest we're doing here at Civic Media. It is a really fun contest going on through the end of the week. All you have to have is the app to play, and we will give you a keyword after the end of the second hour, and all you have to do is text in that keyword. When we send a confirmation link, click on that and sign up for our Civic Media newsletter or Civic Media Today or our social media platforms, and you have an even better chance to win. But all you really have to do is text in the keyword, and you are all set. And you could win $200 cash and gold jewelry, or a grand prize of 2 club-level indoor seats to Green Bay versus Minnesota. That is pro football. It's a Green Bay home game, November 23rd at noon. That is a value of over $1,500, and the keyword is coming up early in the second hour. So stick around, be part of the fun, and good luck, everybody. When we come back, I'm going to tell you what bothers me about sports.
Okay.
Sports on TV, I should clarify. All right, we'll do that, and we'll read some of your texts. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Ride like a 747 and you lose yourself in the sky among the clouds in your heaven calls. Let this groove, light up the fuse, it's all right, all right.
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
Hey, it's Amanda, and we all know that Northeast Wisconsin has some of the best events around, but trying to find them all can be tricky. So here at WGBW, we decided to do the work for you. Prevent boredom on any night by going to WGBW.FM and click events in the top right corner. You'll never have to spend forever scrolling to find out what's going on in your area. And if you got an event to share, hit us up by emailing info@WGBW.FM, bringing you local news and timeless hits while giving you the 411 on what's happening in New Wisco.
Step right up. Circus history is alive in Wisconsin.
The circus would come to town and whole cities would shut down. There wouldn't be school, the stores would be closed because everybody would go to the circus.
A big part of the circus, the wagons. And now what's believed to be the last bell wagon anywhere is at Circus World in Baraboo. Commissioned by the Ringlings in 1892, this 10,000-pound rolling musical instrument was the crown jewel of the circus parades.
There's parade wagons. Circus parades would happen to get people excited to come see the circus, and so those are the very ornamented ones, lots of carving.
That's Jennifer Kronk. She's the curator of history at Circus World. 3 other unique wagons owned by Feld Entertainment in Florida are also on loan for the next couple of years. It's a slice of Wisconsin and circus history right here, where you can relive the glory of the parade and echo of the bells calling you to the big top. I'm Terry Barr.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Come work with us. Civic Media has a number of great jobs across the state.
I could feel at the time there was no way of knowing for the leaves in the night looking sad and glowing.
I am Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. It is great to have you with me here on this Monday night as we broadcast live from beautiful downtown Green Bay, statewide. A gorgeous day all around our state. I don't think there was any rain, Con. Did you put one of your 5-day forecasts out? I don't know if I saw that one today.
No, not today. You know, I only do it when it rains, and I just say it's raining. So
you don't really, you kind of shy away from the details.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm kind of more of a window watcher, so whatever I see is what I'm going to say.
But it would be great. I mean, details are fine. I would need to know how much rain, so I need to know if I should wear my rubbers or if I should,
I can say it's sprinkling or it's raining. So those are the two options.
All right. He's not the best weatherman in the business for nothing, folks, if I can quote the great Bob Uecker. I've decided I never need to see a post-game interview again.
I need to know which one you're talking about. Because
they're all of them.
I did see your Facebook post on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would it killed you to give me a thumbs up or a...
I didn't like it, so.
You can't get enough of post-game interview. I can't stand to just say nothing new. It's always cliches or it's always what I just watched. It's not even anything on the coaches or the players. They're just stating the obvious, which I just saw. Unless it's Greg Popovich or Mike Leach. Mike Leach always had funny stuff. Or Phil Jackson. Sometimes they'd throw something different at you, but it's just the same old cliches and platitudes. I don't need it.
I think it's really funny. I don't know if you saw what Cam Moore did after the Titans lost and went 0-4.
No.
He said, to keep it a buck, we suck.
Okay. fun. Have fun with it. Yeah.
At least it's refreshing, not just him saying, "Yeah, we are terrible."
Right. And that a little honesty goes a long way too.
Yeah.
And whatever. Maybe those guys aren't. Maybe the last thing they want to do. And the sideline reporters oftentimes don't help. They don't have the best questions either.
No.
It's like they kind of tend to ask the same stuff. I'm just done. I was watching it last night after I watched one of the games that was on after it was Kansas City. And it was just like the same. I'm like, why am I watching this? Like, I'm just listening to these people. Like, that just shows you how you kind of go into your own head. And it's like, you're just used to having stuff on in the background. Don't need to see it.
Did you see that lady interview Ben Johnson on the sideline?
Yeah, and a Detroit fan made a comment, right? Or something.
Well, no, it's just, he's pretty much, she said, "Oh, what do you need to do this to do better?" And he's like, "Oh, you think so? All right." Well, he's like, "I think we're good." And then just stares.
See, that I don't, okay, that's a little rude. She's got a job to do too. But he's kind of saying, challenge me a little.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen him smile since he started working there.
Listen, he is great in the locker room. There was a 2-minute post a friend of mine posted yesterday, and it was like, wow, this guy. I mean, I hope it works out because he is passionate.
I think this guy is your guy.
I think so too. He's better than all the other.
Well, yeah,
imbeciles we've had.
Matt Eberflus,
bunch of numbskulls.
Yeah,
and everything. Poor Eberflus, like, pardon me. He can't do anything. Like, he was such a dink as a coach. Now he's got he's got different glasses on the Dallas sidelines yesterday. I'm like, look at this idiot. Like, he can't do anything. He just has new glasses, and I think he's a dork. So anyway. So, all right, we've got a contest. We've got all kinds of stuff. Hey, check us out, folks, if you're in Milwaukee on 100.3. That's our new signal, FM signal, WAUK. It sounds great. Everybody I know has raved about it, so that's kind of exciting. And Mike Lucas is coming up at 6:35, comedian. Mike also teaches comedy, so that's exciting. He's been on The Tonight Show. He hosted his own show. He's all over the place, a great comic and a really good guy. He's going to be here at 6:35. And our pal Frank Anderson is going to just reinforce why we love Wisconsin at 7:20. He is such an advocate for the state. He can tie anything that happens in the world back to Wisconsin, which takes talent. That's pretty cool.
It was your favorite celebrity's birthday over the weekend.
Oh, did I miss that? Who's that?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, you know what? That's my bad. You talked about this last week.
We do got a clip that we can play if you.
I trust you. Go for it.
When Gwyneth Paltrow says being a movie star is harder than working a 9-to-5 job, apparently she said that, she knows because she spent years clearing heavy debris from demolition sites. Oh, no, wait. This just in. Gwyneth Paltrow's never done.
I still am going to do something on the Nepo babies because I can't. They all say that, it's actually harder. Oh, really? If your last name is Coppola, here's the dirty little secret. A lot of people can act, even if they're not famous. There's a lot of good actors who will never be discovered. That's why it's a tough business. So when people like Zoe Kravitz and Gwyneth Paltrow or anybody like, I think Nicolas Cage changed his last name, but did he really? People knew who he was still. That is nonsense. It doesn't hurt you. You still have to be good. But like I said, I think there are a ton of great actors in the world. Not enough stages. So our question of the night, folks, is how do you like your coffee? Do you not like coffee? You can share that too. We're having fun here tonight with coffee, on National Coffee Day. It's our Text to Win multi-state Text to Win contest, our Go for the Green and Gold. I'll give you more details after the top of the hour. Let's read a couple texts here if we can get a couple in here. Tom from New Berlin. No, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong text. Conrad, where am I? Here we go. Terry Ryan says, from the 414 says, I love coffee. Black, like my soul. Thank you for your honesty, Terry. That's awesome. Tom from New Berlin says, love you, Pete. Sports is sports entertainment like you. Blessed to listen to your laughs like me. Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Where are we at? John from Oshkosh says, got to have lots of creamer and French vanilla. Conrad, there you go, buddy. You guys should get together off the air and talk about your love of French vanilla.
He said lots, and I'm like, I still
Okay.
I really like the coffee taste in it still.
Thank you, John. We're coming right back with comedian Mike Lucas. It's Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW. Reach, engage, grow with Civic Media. Log on civicmedia.us/advertise.
From the 97.9 WGBW Newsroom, I'm Connie Fellman with this local news update. Health officials say a case of West Nile virus has been confirmed in Shawano County. According to the Shawano-Menominee County's Health Department, the infection was detected in a healthy blood donor. They say all donated blood is screened before entering the blood supply, and any that tests positive is removed. Health workers say detection of the virus in Shawano County confirms the presence of mosquitoes carrying West Nile. Statistics show about 80% of people infected with West Nile virus do not get sick, which leads to people donating blood without realizing they're infected. Green Bay's Pride Fest has a new date and venue. According to New Pride Alive, the organizers of Brown County's annual LGBTQ+ festival, the event is now set to take place at the Oneida Casino Hotel on November 2nd. The Pride Festival, which usually happens at the Brown County Fairgrounds in September, was postponed this year due to what organizers call the increasingly charged political climate. In a Facebook post, organizers say the new venue offers the welcoming and secure environment their community deserves. A different pop-up Pride event is also set to take place in downtown Green Bay on October 4th in response to the festival's postponement. A local hospital group plans to build 56 townhouses at the former site of Roosevelt Elementary School on Doty Island in Neenah. The townhouses will be built just north of Theta Care Regional Medical Center. The units will support the hospital's new physician residency program beginning in July of 2026. With news at the top and bottom of the hour all day and on demand anytime at WGBW.FM, I'm Connie Fellman, 97.9 WGBW News.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. The president has tons of critics in or out of the entertainment business, but none have been as harsh as Bruce Springsteen. The boss has written about blue-collar America for most of his career and professed his love for his country in a recent interview with Time magazine. Springsteen hit the president pretty hard during his tour last spring. The boss does not seem intimidated, even though the president has him by 3 years, about 150 pounds, and is beating him in bankruptcies 6-0. Not to mention he is also leading when it comes to telling someone not to certify election results. Be that as it may, the boss has a lot more kick-butt tunes. All the president could come up with in response to Springsteen's harsh criticism was, "He's dumb as a rock." This from the guy who can't pronounce acetaminophen. In the interview with Time, Springsteen probably realized he couldn't match wits and just said he couldn't care less what the president thinks. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Come work with us. Civic Media has a number of great jobs across the state. Open now at civicmedia.us/careers.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A stretch of dry and unseasonably mild temps are ahead. Partly cloudy for tonight, a low in the mid-50s. And a mix of sun and clouds for tomorrow, a high in the upper 70s. More sunshine through the rest of the week. Temps climb through the 80s. It's 82 right now.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Health officials say close to 1,000 people in Wisconsin die by suicide every year. It's Suicide Prevention Month, and if you are struggling, call 988 anytime for support. A message from the Civic Media Radio Network. You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Welcome back. Welcome to Nite Lite, folks. I am Pete Schwaba. We are broadcasting live from beautiful downtown Green Bay on a gorgeous night statewide all over Wisconsin. Hope you're having a great day. Great to have you with me. It is National Coffee Day. Our question of the day is, how do you like your coffee? And if you don't like coffee, tell us why. Either way, there are no right or wrong answers. There are only your answers. Tyler from Wisconsin Rapids, he's in the 608, says, Tom Hanks said it best, there's no tying in football. Also, I like my coffee cheap, no frills. All right, thank you for your honesty, Tyler. Ross from Crawford County in the 608 says, coffee first thing in the morning any way I can get it. Like an addiction. After that, French press medium roast with a little whole milk. Okay. I am so glad I got that coffee, Conrad.
Yeah, you said it tastes pretty
Cordero.
good.
It's dynamite. Steve from Florida, Conrad's dad, says favorite cup of coffee is Dunkin' Donuts, their original blend. Black is the only way to drink coffee. All right, Steve. So here's the Neapolitan ice cream again. Dave on the stream said something about that. We'll get to that. But I want to bring in my first guest tonight. Very excited to have this guy on the phone. And for those of you scoring at home, it is time for the Light It Up. It's time to light it up right with the Nite Lite. First guest of the week brought to you by Chicken or the Egg Photography. Chris specializes in food, event music, and product photography for businesses across Wisconsin and the Midwest. See what he can do for you at chickenortheeggphotography.com. Chris does great work. Check him out. And it is my honor to welcome to the show comedian, TV host, teacher, man of the people, Mr. Mike Lucas.
Hey, man of the people. I'll take it.
Oh, I like the beard, dude. You're looking good, man.
Thanks. Yeah, this beard comes with a can of sardines and a manifesto. So there is some baggage with it, but and it also came with a ship that I have to captain.
Well, you packed a lot of punchlines into that.
It's into that one beard.
I don't mind a little manifesto reading before bed. It kind of
right, yeah, just to let people know where you stand.
How are you, man? It's good to see you, Mike.
I'm doing good, man. You're looking good. I haven't seen you in a while. The last time we saw each other, we were working on a TV project that never happened.
Wait. Oh, you're okay. Because we did the Straight Dope. You were the host of the Straight Dope,
right?
On A&E, based on the book, and I worked on that a little bit, and then
did some of the guest appearances on that. You did a great job on that.
Thank you, as did you. And then here's what I think is so funny: we both lived. I think I lived within 2 blocks of you in LA, and I was out there almost 15 years. And there's so many people that I saw all the time in the Midwest, even though I didn't live close to them. And then I lived 2 blocks away in LA, and I don't think I ever ran into you. It's crazy.
No, you don't walk around outside, and there's no real ways to bump into each other unless you're working with each other out there. That's the
yeah.
And I wasn't doing a lot of work with you out there. We were trying to, with Andy Rosen, we were trying to get a pilot done. Yes. I remember remember Straight Dope didn't get renewed because A&E said it didn't do that type of programming, and then cut to like 2 years later, and that's all they did was that type of programming. So
I don't know what's going on at A&E these days.
I don't know
make
either.
Any sense, but
it's not art and it's not entertainment, so I don't know what they're doing. But in answer to your question, I brew my own coffee every morning, and Same. I put creamer in it. Unlike the person that likes black only, I like creamer in it, but it has to be brand creamer. It can't be generic creamer. I can taste the difference.
Wow, Wow, that's a very nuanced palate you have there, my friend.
It's a blessing and a curse, Pete. I can tell it's a good brew, but I can also tell when you've cheapened it with generic product. So.
I have a coffee story for you that I'm excited to share with you. But I also, when you said that pilot, I had totally forgotten about that with our pal Andy Rosen, great guy.
Yeah.
Rich Tallarico was part of that before he went on to Key and Peele fame, and he's been on this show several times. Rich is a great guy. I totally forgot we had done that together.
Yep, it was great. It was funny. It was a lot of random numbers and things that it's a conceptual program. I think it was, and it didn't go very far.
Yeah, unfortunately, but we've
fun to
been
make
down that road many times in this crazy business. But I want to share with you, I don't know if you remember this, Mike. You and I were working, it was somewhere, it might have been Southern Illinois, might have been Ohio. We were working the road together. We went out to breakfast, and we were, I'm going to take you down this trip on memory lane. You and I, all right, we were planning a strike against Zany's Comedy Club. You were into it before I was. You kind of brought me into it. They had lowered their money again.
So for all the middle acts. This was for the middle acts in the opening.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you and I and two other guys, Paul and Ted, I won't say their names for fear of retribution from the comedy world. But we were eating at Perkins, and you started loading up on coffee. And I swear to God, Mike, I don't know if the words that were coming out of your mouth and the ideas, it was so rapid fire. And I'm like, I couldn't even keep up with you. When I realized you had like an entire pot of Perkins coffee.
Yeah, they give you a whole pot of it.
Yes.
Yeah, this was pre-cocaine era, and so it was just a pure caffeine.
And cheaper than cocaine too.
It's so much cheaper, and about the same on your belly, but you know, it was a lot. I remember that we were laughing. It was a whole pot, and you were like, "You're not supposed to drink the whole pot, dude."
You like tossed the cup over your shoulder and just went to flavor country. You also told me I had never heard of the Smashing Pumpkins before that breakfast.
No way.
And honest to God, and you got me into the Smashing Pumpkins, so thank you for that. I love it.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's the fact that I got you into any music at all is a cool. I like that. I like when someone turns you on to a band that turns out to be a good band.
Absolutely. So, all right, let's jump back into A&E and the Straight Dope. You hosted this show, Mike, and you brought me into it, and it really hurt that they didn't renew it because I remember Andy Rosen saying, "You're going to be our guy on the street. We're going to do something."
Oh yeah,
like
we
that.
had big plans for you.
So I was excited, but what a fun gig for you. I mean, did that tape, did that help you get other hosting work or get you in the room for other gigs? That was such a great show for you.
It got me nothing. It was amazing how it just died, and it was as if it didn't exist. I did get to promote it on the Tonight Show when I did one of my appearances there, and that felt good to be able to say you can catch him on A&E doing the season of this show. But then by the time I did my second Tonight Show, the show had been canceled already, so I couldn't say it. Yeah, and it was a bummer because it was a really good show, and I felt like I did a good job hosting it, and then doing the man on the street stuff, and then I did the little blue guy. Remember, there was a little blue guy. We had the reason why he was blue was because we had a screen that was blue.
Right.
And it was the only way we could do the technology at that time, as opposed to doing it in post. So we had to we recorded me in front of a blue screen doing all that, and then they couldn't get the blue out of my face, so they made me totally blue.
That was such an education for me. Like I had never been on a TV set like that,
Right.
and seeing all that technology and just seeing what you were. It was really a really fun experience.
Yeah, that whole set was pretty cool, and that was all Andy Rosen's brainchild. Was that set that it looked like you could come at it from 3 different angles, and it looked like 3 different sets, but it was all one in the same.
Yeah, he was such a great idea guy and so resourceful. Are you still in touch with him?
Yeah, I talk to him once in a while. He's great.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll tell him I said hello. That's fantastic.
I will. Yeah, he's doing good. He's working in the marketing world, so he's on his own.
You how were the Tonight Show experiences for you to be able to do multiple Tonight Shows? That's, as a stand-up comic, that's pretty incredible. Was Leno the host?
Leno was the host at the time, so there was that was in the time period where it was not quite as a big of a deal. I mean, it's a big deal to get the Tonight Show, of course, But compared to when Johnny Carson was the host, that was the big deal. That was when you could feel like it made your career. This one was good. It got me a couple of other things, but I didn't have management at the time, so it got me management. But then management by that time, they ended up taking a guy, the guy who was originally booking it, Jimmy Brogan, booked me for the 2 times I did it, and then he got removed as the booker. I hope it had nothing to do with me. But he got removed. No, this was just his plan. The plan, they removed him as the booker, and then they put a younger lady that was in charge of it, because Jimmy Brogan was also one of the co-writers. So his plate was too full. So the woman told me, she's like, we're going to go towards more traditional type of stand-ups as opposed to kind of like comics like me that was sort of different and off the wall. So basically, that was her way of saying good luck.
That's a great way to say it. My guest is Mike Lucas. He is a nationally renowned stand-up comedian, TV host. He also teaches comedy. He did a lot of work with Second City. Just an incredibly talented guy joining me here on Nite Lite tonight. For the first time, I can't believe it took us this long, Mike, to set this up, but I'm so glad you're here. So let me ask you this. It's funny you say that, too, when you say off the wall, because I was looking for a clip of you that I could tease today.
Nice.
But you're so visual. Like, on the radio, I was like, these are really good jokes, but then you'll take like 10 seconds to act it out, and you get such huge laughs.
But you can't see anything.
Right. I mean, is that
radio?
Was that a natural progression for you to go? Because I remember you took some time out of stand-up and you went to Second City, and you had a good run there too, doing sketch and improv and all that stuff. What was that like?
That was great. I recommend that to every comic, is to do stand-up and then also take improv classes, because you learn how to do your act outs, and you learn how to do characters and voices, and you learn how to make choices, and you learn how to heighten. You learn how to yes and. You learn how to take an idea and to add on to it and make it worse or weirder or bigger or better or whatever you want to call it. But that's like to heighten it. And that's what happened to me. Was I was always into that while I was doing stand-up, and so I began to incorporate both into both. In fact, right now, I still do both here in Dallas, where I'm located. I'm at the Dallas Comedy Club, and I'm on the house long-form improv team, and I also work as a stand-up instructor and as a comic in the local scene here. So I'm bi. I love doing both, and it's a fantastic journey to learn how to do both and to work at a higher level at them, because you can trust that anything that happens will be okay.
Yeah. Do you have a preference as to one or the other?
You know what? I'm doing improv and I'm loving improv, and then I'm doing stand-up and I'm loving stand-up. And so it's hard to say which I love better. I love improv because it's a group mind, and so you work with a bunch of other people. And people in improv are nice. They're really, even though behind your back they might be mean, but to your face they're nice, and they couldn't be more supportive, because that's what the yes and philosophy does for you.
Right.
And then in stand up, you get a bunch of ball busters. Their language of love is busting chops, and so you get to learn how to be that way, and it's fun and it's exciting, and you get to treat other people that way and get treated that way, and it's a whole and it's a very it's by yourself. You have to be survive on your own in front of a group of strange drunk people, and make them laugh and make them enjoy the time. And so that's such a high when you get that to work, and it's such a low when you don't. Pete, you know what that feels like too, right? Like having a bad.
Hey,
set.
what are you saying?
I'm just saying, I've seen your show, and no, you're a comic through and true. You're a pro, and so you know what it's like to go up and down, and so that's what I'm saying. Not you're an expert in failing.
My guest is Mike Lucas. We'll be back after this very short break, and Frank Anderson is here at 7:20, folks, and I'm going to give you details on the Text to Win contest as well. We're coming right back. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Here she comes now, walking with a love that's so fine, never to be mine, no matter how I try.
As Wisconsin is cheering on the Brew Crew. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton, improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit wiinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
If you or someone you love is struggling, you are not alone. September is National Suicide Prevention Month. Call or text 988 anytime to connect with the Crisis Lifeline. A message from the Civic Media Radio Network. Missed your favorite show live on air? It's easy to find what you enjoy wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app.
Your local Civic Media radio station is your source for real news and great conversation, plus fun and exciting contests. For a complete list of contest rules, log on wgbw.fm/contest-terms. Join the family. Civic Media has a number of great jobs across the state open now at civicmedia.us/careers.
It's early in the morning, about 2:45.
Welcome back.
I'm sitting here talking with my baby.
I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. It is finally Monday, folks, and we get to come together and talk about the things in life that make us happy, movies and TV and comedy. And my guest, Mike Lucas, who joins us over the stream from Dallas. Mike, how long... I was kind of in awe of you. Like, when we were in Chicago, you kind of relocated a few times. You went to L.A. like a lot of us. Then you were in Dallas. I think you're from Cleveland, and I thought you started there. And where else? To pick up roots as a comedian and start over somewhere, that's not that easy.
No, it's always a new scene that you have to break into.
Yeah.
I started out in Cleveland. Then I moved down to Florida, and I did MGM Studios, and I did what was the other one? Another studio where I worked there during the day
Universal?
and then at night. Universal, that's the one.
Yeah.
I was in the fire department there, where I did a whole bunch of different roles and filled in whenever I was needed. And so I did those during the day, and at night I worked at the comedy clubs in Florida. Then I moved up to Chicago and did that scene there. I did Second City and Improv Olympic and Annoyance while I was doing stand-up.
Jeez.
And then I got hired by Second City to do their touring company. So I began to tour with them internationally while I was doing stand-up. And then I moved to New York for a year. I did Brooklyn for 1 year, and I didn't really care for it. So I moved out to LA. And that's what I really fell in love with, LA. And LA is a great city. If you have anything to pitch, it's just a good place to go try to make money. And so I got some TV shows out there. I did. Then that's when Second City called me up and asked me if I wanted to do their Vegas production. So nice. I went to Vegas, and my roommate was Jason Sudeikis and Kay Cannon.
Oh, wow.
Two big stars now. It must not have rubbed off in my bedroom. It was just in their bedroom. They got the lucky one. But it was funny that I turned you on to Smashing Pumpkins. I turned Jason on to the Monty Python and the Flying Circus, and he'd never heard of Monty Python before.
What? Oh my goodness!
So I got to show him the first time to see the Monty Python Flying Circus. So that was pretty cool.
That's hilarious.
And it was also the first time he'd smoked weed, so I got him turned on to that. So.
And it was maybe that weed or that one joint that propelled him into Ted Lasso fame. So
that's what I like to think. I like to think that I got some dew coming my way.
Anything he's done, my friend, you should get a taste of it.
Everything. That's how it works, right? That's how it works.
Right. You're teaching comedy in Dallas, Mike, and I'm sure you're great at that. But what can you teach people to be funny? I'm sure you could give them tricks that help, but can you teach funny?
Well, I believe you can if you have a methodology to do it. And I wrote 3 books on it to give you that methodology. That's the Finding Your Funny Muscle, Fine-Tuning Your Funny Muscle, and Flexing Your Funny Muscle. There are 3 books that give you a methodology on how to, first of all, find your comedy lens, which is sort of your brand and sort of your unique take on how your comedy world works. Number 2, it teaches you how to use the humor blueprint, which is sort of like a premise setup punchline format, which allows you to sort of begin to formulate jokes using misdirection and your comedy lens. And then there's 36 humor heightening devices that allow you to find your punchlines off of the different setups that you create. And so once you understand that there's a game to it, you can begin to write material using that methodology. And that's what I teach and what I love and believe in. And now getting back to your real question, can you teach someone to be funny? You can teach someone to be funnier.
Yeah.
So if you're already funny, I can teach you to be funnier. If you're not funny at all, I don't know what to do with you. If it doesn't occur to you to make people laugh, I don't know how to get that to occur to you, because I call them laugh opportunities. There's moments in life where you are ready to make people laugh. And there are moments to prepare yourself for that. In my one book, book 3, I talk about it. You're at a standing in line at a grocery store, and all of a sudden there's 16 people in line, and there's only one register open, and all of a sudden the announcement comes up: "Tammy to the front, Tammy to the front." And as soon as that announcement stops, and before anyone starts talking, there's a moment right then. It's a laugh opportunity where you can make a joke and make a comment like, "Tammy for president" or something. And you could take advantage of that, but most people don't understand that there are moments like that you do. So there's ways that you can learn how to be more effective as a comedian and as a funny person. But as far as teaching someone to be funny at all, I don't know that there's a real natural instinct that I think you have to get that going.
Great, very well said. Tell people how they can find your Funny Muscle podcast, Mike.
Well, you can go to anywhere podcasts are available, and you can get that. And the Funny Muscle podcast, we basically use my methodology to teach people how to look at comedy and how to create comedy. So if you go to Podbean, or you go to the Apple Podcasts, any of those places where you get podcasts, we have them. We've joined all of them. So you can get them and join up for all that. That's great for anyone who's interested in making laughs happen.
Before I let you go, Mike, we got about a minute left. I ask every guest this, are you binge watching anything? Is there anything you could recommend that you and your family are into from a binge watch standpoint?
You know what I've been watching? I've been watching, what's it called? It's the F1 series on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Drive.
What is that called?
It's something about driving dangerously or something. And to me, the F1 is amazing. It's like having these guys they're for 2 hours in a traffic jam, and they're going at 200 miles an hour, and they're taking that traffic jam around the track over and over and over again. And by the end, one person ends up winning it. So it's a pretty cool, it shows you behind the scenes of the drivers. It shows you behind the scenes of the owners and the battle that takes place between, it's really only 10 companies that own these 20 cars. And so you learn a lot about this sport that you never really understood before. So that's what I've been watching.
That's so great. Buddy, it's great to be back in touch. Check out mike-lucas.com for his books, his podcast. Come back soon, okay?
I will, Pete. Thanks, buddy. I'll have you on my podcast soon.
Oh, that'd be fun. Thanks. All right, Mike Lucas, everybody. We are coming right back, and I'm going to give you the keyword and tell you about the contest. Pete Schwaba, Nite Lite, Civic Media Radio Network.
WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. That high-stakes meeting at the White House with President Trump and top Democratic and Republican congressional leaders today ended with no word of an agreement that would prevent a government shutdown. Neither side showed any willingness to budge. Republicans want to keep the status quo. Democrats want to extend health care benefits for the Affordable Care Act, Medicaid coverage, and other earlier cuts. House Speaker Mike Johnson accused the Democrats of creating a crisis.
You should go take a look at what they requested. $1.5 trillion in new spending that is unrelated to the ongoing appropriations process.
If Congress does not pass government funding legislation and it is not signed by Trump by Tuesday night, many government offices across the nation will temporarily close. Today, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law aiming to keep people from using powerful AI models for potentially catastrophic activities, like building a bioweapon or shutting down a bank system. This is ABC News. A peace plan for Gaza could bring the more than 2 million people living there under international control, not Israel's. ABC Chief White House Correspondent Mary Bruce reports no one has announced acceptance yet.
The president and the prime minister, while they announced this, what they described as historic 20-point plan, they refused to take questions here. Of course, while they may be in agreement on what the end of this war should look like, Hamas is not on board. And it's also not clear, I should say, whether Netanyahu is fully 100% on board with this complete plan.
Under the deal, Hamas would have to disarm, humanitarian aid for Palestinians would come in, and a plan for rebuilding Gaza would begin. OpenAI announced new parental controls for ChatGPT aimed at making the chatbot safer for teens after cases in which teenagers took their lives after using ChatGPT. New controls allow parents to adjust access to graphic content or sensitive topics. Parents will also receive notifications if their child might be in distress. I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us. Let's remind each other life matters. If you're feeling overwhelmed, help is just a call away at 988. It's National Suicide Prevention Month, and you are not alone. This message from the Civic Media Radio Network.
As Wisconsin is saying the word bag instead of bag. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Final score, 40-40. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Cowboys and the Packers battled through overtime, only to have the game end in a 40-40 tie. It was Micah Parsons' first game back against the Cowboys. What was his reaction to the draw?
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm pissed off. I'm very disappointed. I even told Jordan to the side, thank you for having our back today.
So the Packers are now 2-1-1 heading into their bye. Did the Packers do anything different? I asked Cowboys defensive lineman Kenny Clark.
Yeah, it was all the same. Same stuff we expected. 1-2-1 is way better than 1-3.
Baseball, the Brewers beat the Reds 4-2. NBA, Bucks GM John Horst on the changes he and Doc Rivers made in the offseason.
He and I went into the offseason heavily focused on how can we maximize Giannis's impact on our team? How can we maximize the rest of the players that we acquire?
Giannis unable to attend the press conference. He's grounded in Greece after testing positive for COVID. With Sports on Mike Clemens.
As Wisconsin is cheering on the Brew Crew. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A stretch of dry and unseasonably mild temps are ahead. Partly cloudy for tonight, a low in the mid-50s. And a mix of sun and clouds for tomorrow, a high in the upper 70s. More sunshine through the rest of the week, temps climb through the 80s. Right now it's 80.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, getting to know another candidate for the Wisconsin governor's race. State Senator Kelda Roys joins us in hour number 2. Don't miss it.
Matnair on air, weekday mornings 9 to 11.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals, so I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Did you know 1 out of 5 adults worry about their mental health? It's Suicide Prevention Month, and talking saves lives. Call 988 anytime for support. A message from the Civic Media Radio.
Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now a guy who washes his hands even after using a towel, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for hour number 2. Hope you had a great intermission, but we are back to continue our talk about all things entertainment here on this beautiful Monday night in the state of Wisconsin. It is great to have you with me. Our question of the night is, how do you like your coffee? It is National Coffee Day, and we're asking how you like to take your coffee. And if you don't like coffee, that's fine too. Tell us why. Get involved in the conversation and have some fun. You can text us at 855-752-4842, or you can text us on the app or on the stream at YouTube, Twitter, X, or Facebook. Let us know. And either way, it's great to have you. Be part of the fun. All right, so it is time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you the details on this great Go for the Green and Gold text-to-win contest we're doing here at Civic Media. It is our multi-state text-to-win contest, and it's a great one. So all you need is the app. And I'm going to give you the keyword in about 10 minutes. Text in that keyword, and you are eligible to win a daily prize of $200 cash and gold jewelry. And doing that automatically enrolls you in the, or makes you eligible for the grand prize, which is 2 club-level indoor seats to Green Bay versus Minnesota. That is professional football. And it is a Green Bay home game on November 23rd at noon kickoff. You also get a gas card to attend the game. If you don't live near Green Bay, that could be helpful. It's a $1,550 value. That is not exactly chump change, folks. So be part of the fun, our multi-state text-to-win contest, and it is going on through October 3rd. That's this Friday. So be part of the fun. We're going to send you the word. Here's the thing. When you get a confirmation text from Civic Media, click on that link, and you have a chance to be even more eligible for that prize. It increases your chances to win if you sign up for Civic Media Today, the Civic Media newsletter, or any of our social media platforms. So do that. Be part of the gang. And good luck, everybody. Also, if you are listening to Nite Lite, I have to say this because we got another text over the weekend, Con. From 4 to 6 a.m., they replay the show. When I give the keyword between 4 and 6 a.m., unfortunately, that does not count. at those hours. So it has to be between the hours of 7 and 8 tonight through Friday if you want to qualify. And I will give you that keyword once again in just a few minutes. So, Conrad Krieger working the board. What did you do during intermission? What were you doing over there? Just chilling out a little bit?
I was thinking about all the coffee I'm going to drink tomorrow.
Are you going to drink a lot of food? Because National Coffee Day is today, though.
Yeah. No, I'm just, I was just editing some stuff on my side of the board.
All right. I was trying to find this great coffee bit. There's this comedian. I should have asked Mike Lucas about this, but there's this comedian named Tommy Sledge, P.I., and he goes into all these old school cops or different, words for women's legs like getaway sticks or stems. And he does all the old school speak. And he has a great bit about coffee. But while I was looking for that today, and I couldn't find it before the show, he said his wife told him to drop his pants at the cleaners. And that got me 30 days in the hoosegow because I misunderstood what she said. I love that kind of stuff. I'm just immature enough to love a good drop your pants joke because it's totally inappropriate. We've got a lot of texts we got to get to here, Con. I don't think. We got a phone call.
Yeah.
Who's on the blower?
Richard from Waukesha.
Oh, I love it. Richard, how are you tonight?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I got to tell you, this invention. I don't know if I made it up or if I just accidentally got it on making my own coffee.
Yeah.
I have a problem with having a coffee at a shop and then leaving my coffee grounds too long at home.
Okay.
It's real humid where I live, and there's a mold problem or freshness problem, drying out or whatever. So what I come up with is I get this concentrated cold coffee mix, which you can buy. And you can pour it in your cup, and you can get flavors and everything. It's just concentrated. Then you add the water, and then I just microwave it.
And that's how you like to drink your coffee. You're saying that's a good thing.
It stores really long. Once you open the container, you just put it in the refrigerator.
Oh, that is the way to go. Because I
So
waste a lot of
make it a
coffee.
cup at a time.
Okay.
Yeah. And you get various choices of the concentration depending upon where you buy it or what brand. And it's coffee.
Yeah. That's outstanding. I appreciate that. And you, because I waste a lot of coffee. Sometimes I'll drink like a cup and a half and I got to pour the rest of it out. And I've even done this, Richard, where I'll like microwave it the next day, but it just doesn't taste good,
Yeah, well, you can refrigerate it and microwave it, but this way it's one cup at a time, and I could drink a half a cup and then put a little bit more in it and a little more water and just add to the cup and microwave it again and get it hot again.
A coffee aficionado. Richard, thank you, buddy, for the call. Much appreciated. Have a great night.
One.
You too. Thanks, pal. That's awesome. Because I waste way too much coffee. It's still cheaper than buying coffee out, though.
Yeah.
I
just use a Keurig, so.
Do you? See, that might be the way to go. But is the coffee more expensive when you buy those little?
Well, it depends where you buy it from, honestly. Like, Amazon has some pretty good deals with buying, like, a 30-pack of them. If you go to, Festival or something around there, it's like $12 for, like, 6 of them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
But when you equate that to buying coffee out or what I throw away, it's probably comparable. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
my wife's been after me to get a Keurig, too.
The Keurig just doesn't taste as good as when you go out, obviously, but
Yeah.
It gets the job done.
Gets you where you want to go. All right, so we got to catch up on some text here, folks. Dave, our pal on the stream, says, you know what he's talking about there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I felt weird even bringing up the T-shirt, even though I didn't say the name, so I'm not going to read that. Dave says, haven't had a drop of coffee since May of 2010. First hot day made me spit it out and stop drinking coffee. Wow. Always black. So he does have an opinion, though. And then, all right, we're not going to read that one. Right there. Yeah, I got it. Jim from Appleton in the 920 says, my coffee is espresso, strong and sweetened with honey. Yum, yum. I never have put honey in my coffee.
Honey in coffee is amazing. It's so
Really?
good, yes.
Now, what would have gotten you to try that?
I think One of my friends, he's like, let's go get some coffee. And that he got a French vanilla coffee, iced coffee. And he says, I always put honey in it. It adds a little bit of sweetness to it. I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And I was like, yeah, I'm always going to get honey in my coffee now.
And it's healthier than sugar.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I put honey in tea. I've never put it in coffee.
I would recommend it.
Awesome. Tony the trucker, he's in the 608, says, Pete, I temper my 40-year-old thermos, freshly grind quality medium roast bean, and enjoy fresh hot coffee into the early evening while delivering groceries throughout beautiful Wisconsin. That's a great text. Everything about that text I love. Thank you, Tony. And then we just did, who are people texting about the contest already, Con? What's going on there?
I
haven't even given the keyword yet.
I don't know.
All right, keyword is coming up in 3 or 4 minutes, folks, right before we go to the break. Conrad's mom says, I do not like the smell or taste of coffee. Will only drink cappuccino or chai tea. Chai tea is good.
Yeah, she does not like coffee.
That's almost more like coffee.
Sometimes. It's definitely sweeter and doesn't have that bitter taste to it.
Right. Penny in the 608 says, please don't advertise. Was that for us? Did I say something about it?
I mean, I said you can get K-Cups on there.
Oh, at Amazon. Okay. I was talking about the river, Penny. Turning to our social media responses for our question of the day, Conrad said an iced cold brew or a cortado, which is made with equal parts espresso and steamed milk. I just had one myself, and it was delectable. Our pal Dan Davies says, I like my coffee like I like my friends. Strong, bold, filled with Irish whiskey. My life sucks, LOL. Sounds pretty fun to me. Little Irish whiskey with friends. That's your living. Danny Wheels, our pal Daniel Wheeler says, I enjoy an iced white mocha. I also seem to be impervious to caffeine, as I can drink one in the evening and still fall asleep later on with no problem. You know, I can do that, but I try not to because once in a while it does affect me. But I just don't risk it, Daniel.
Yeah, you know, it definitely does affect me.
I respect that.
I will stay up if like tonight I'm probably going to stay up now because I had coffee.
Because you had coffee, yeah.
But I don't care. It was too enjoyable.
It's worth it. I had the same thing. I had it after you had it. So even later. And it's not a contest. I'm just saying. Okay. And then I said dark roast with cinnamon mixed in like they do at Rise and Grind with a splash of oat milk. Great stuff. Our pal Amanda Nimmer, who is our social media guru here at WGBW, says, I like the smell of coffee but hate the taste. I embrace my British forefathers' ways of living. Tea for life. I love it. I love the passion, Amanda. Chris Anderson on social media says, decaf with a splash of half and half. That's what I do. You gotta discover decaf, Con, because it's like, it's not that different. If you find a good decaf, it can take you to flavor country just like regular would.
I feel weird going to a coffee shop and then being like, I want decaf.
Why?
I don't know, because like coffee is, known for.
Oh, come on.
But when I go to a coffee shop, usually I'm like, I want the caffeine in the morning.
Yeah. I think half the people in there are ordering decafs. They don't want caffeine.
Yeah.
I hear those orders a lot. Our pal J.B. Thompson, the guy behind the guy, Conrad.
Behind the guy?
Behind the guy. Cold brew, rum, and a splash of milk. Now, this is interesting. He's friends with Dan Davey, and they both sound like the way they like their coffee, they might have a drinking problem, but we're not going to judge them. All right. So I don't know if you heard this, Con. This is exciting. Taylor Swift took herself out of the running for the Super Bowl halftime show. So do you know who the Super Bowl halftime?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Are you a fan?
I think his music sounds cool, but I just don't understand it.
His music?
So I think it's, a little different for me.
Yeah. But you know what? I didn't really know Kendrick Lamar last year either. But then when I did some research on what he was doing in the lyric, I thought it was great. And it looked cool. So I don't know anything about Bad Bunny. So give me, give me Springsteen or U2 or whomever, but give me somebody I don't know too. I'm fine with that. I love it.
Bad Bunny wrestled for a little bit in WWE.
Come on.
Was like a celebrity.
Really?
It's like a celebrity, like he would show up for a couple. But he didn't turn out like Logan Paul, who did it for a couple, and then he's like, I actually want to do this now.
No, this guy made a whole new career. And he's a big star in pop music.
Well, no, he was doing that before he did WWE. I'm saying, like, it was like him as a celebrity guest.
But
he did some fun matches, actually.
Really? Oh, that's kind of cool. Good for Bad Bunny. I'm excited to see the show. All right, folks, it is time for me to give you the keyword tonight for our Civic Media Go for the Green and Gold Text to Win contest. We are doing this through Friday. I will be giving out keywords in the 7 o'clock hour through Friday. Daily cash prize, $200 in gold jewelry. Grand prize, 2 club-level indoor seats to Green Bay versus Minnesota, November 23rd at 12 noon. That's a $1,500 plus value. So here we go. You have to text in on the app. Tonight's keyword is chance, C-H-A-N-C-E. Chance, C-H-A-N-C-E. Good luck, everybody. We are coming right back with my pal Frank Anderson from Wisconsinology.com. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
She can't do a thing to me.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
Appleton Cigar Company on College Avenue has been serving the community for over 25 years. If you are a cigar aficionado looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, you need to check out Appleton Cigar, which boasts the largest selection of cigars north of Milwaukee with over 706 cigars to choose from in a walk-in humidor. The Cigar Lounge offers an impressive variety of spirits and cocktails that pair perfectly with a premium cigar. For the full experience, come to Appleton Cigar at 415 College Ave, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. For more information, go to appletoncigar.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Missed your favorite show live on air? It's easy to find what you enjoy wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we're always streaming on TuneIn.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother.
This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me on this Monday night. You know, in regard to Penny's text, that's how I am. I always try to find a different place to buy something if I can spend my money somewhere where people don't really need it.
Yeah.
You do feel helpless sometimes. It's a small thing, but we can all vote with our money. It's where we want to spend it. And, you know, unfortunately, it's just so easy sometimes to go with the big boys, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
but I do try.
I think sometimes it's nicer that it's cheaper than alternative options, for me at least.
Right. Well, listen, it wouldn't kill you to get an extra job just so you can buy a pair of socks.
Yeah.
Nice pair of tube socks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to pivot here and welcome one of my my bestest Nite Lite pals. He's the founder of Wisconsinology.com. I actually, Conrad, when I wrote that, I was using voice, so it says WisconsinAllergy.com. That's a different website.
You need to know sometimes what allergies, what pills to take.
He is a director, producer of commercials, movies, and amazing documentaries, and his name is Frank Anderson, and he joins us now over the phone. Hey, buddy.
Hey, where's my theme song?
Oh, man. I completely forgot about your theme song, Frank.
Yeah, where I'm introduced by Vic Perrin, Menominee Falls, Wisconsin native, telling the whole world out there that we control the horizontal and the vertical. Anyway, yeah, here I am.
Tell us the song again, Frank. We will make this
No,
right.
it's no big deal.
No, listen. You are a guest in my home. Okay, go ahead.
The theme to the original Outer Limits.
Okay. And who is the artist again?
It's just the theme to the TV show, The Outer Limits. That's all.
Let's find that, Con.
However, you can always go with Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Listen, you have so many music connections. There's probably a lot of stuff we could use, and you'd be satisfied. Listen, you know what? I was going to ask you, Frank, when you were here tonight, we did a question last week that was, who's your favorite one-hit wonder? And I saw one of your posts on Facebook recently, and I thought, I bet Frank would say the Turtles, Happy Together. But you might argue that they are not a one-hit wonder. Your thoughts?
No, not at all. They had many hits.
But did they have a lot of chart-topping hits like Happy Together?
Well, no one has that kind of hit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's lineman of the county. That's, I mean, going back to that time.
Yeah.
That's just huge. Huge. Just like
Absolutely.
Never My Love. The second most played song in history. In history.
I love that song.
Yeah. No. That's a class by itself. But sure, the Turtles had a lot of hit songs.
What was your connection? Did you play with them? I read the post like a couple weeks ago, or did you have some connection personally with them, or are you just a fan of their music?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just went and saw their show.
Gotcha.
And there's no more of them, so I didn't really see their show.
Yeah. Sometimes they do that, like with bands, like when only like the bass player is alive and he's still touring with other guys singing the same.
Well,
and good
here's
for
the
him.
thing about, no. Nowadays, no one's alive. You know, it's like me stumbling on a Leonard Skinner concert in 1990, whatever, and what am I doing here? They're dead. You know, they're dead. They don't exist. Who are you up there? You know.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, that's what's going on nowadays.
So, Frank, our question of tonight, I would love to get your thoughts on this. You strike me as a guy who probably loves coffee, but I don't want to make assumptions. Are you a coffee drinker?
I love coffee.
All right, there we go.
I live for coffee.
So what takes you to flavor country in regard to coffee? How do you drink your coffee?
I drink it 2 creams and 2 sugars.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah. What they call in New York City coffee regular.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know where you go, I have a coffee regular. Yeah.
And that's what that means? 2 creams, 2 sugars?
Well, cream and sugar.
Okay.
A lot of sugar.
All right.
Yeah. You know, it's not like a mocha, but I mean, the mocha is what? It's a hot milkshake, right?
It's chocolate. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. It's just a regular coffee, cream and sugar. That's it.
Hey, Frank, it's great to have you here, as always, buddy. But I want to start off because last year I kind of missed this with you, and I want to make sure we don't do this again. We're going to have you back before the event. But tell us about, or tell the listeners about Joey's Song, this great event that takes place this year January 9th and 10th in Madison at the Sylvie. Tell us how it got started and a little bit about the event and your involvement, if you would, please.
Sure. It was founded by Mike Gamal. His son, very young son, Joey, died from a form of epilepsy. And Joey's Song is an effort to raise money aimed at that very form. So all the money raised by you and everyone out there buying your tickets goes straight to the top doctor in that field, I believe at Northwestern University. And it funds him and his many endeavors. How it began was in a little bar in Madison, singing Freddie Johnston, who had one hit in the 1990s and has written many others. He started performing at a little bar in Madison. And I think the first time they raised, a few $100.
Sure.
And then Butch, Vig, and Garbage got involved. And then everybody started to get involved. And
great.
Last year, we had a hell of a band up there. On one side of the stage, there was, Steve Porcaro from Toto. And on the other side, there was Chris Collingsworth from the Stacy's Mom. What's that band?
Stacy's Mom's got it going on. Hey, Frank, let's pick up there. We got to do the news. We're coming back. And I'm also going to ask Frank about the Madison-Milwaukee rivalry. You won't want to miss this, folks. Frank Anderson is here. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite.
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM. As Wisconsin is hitting the road on your Harley. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. That high-stakes meeting at the White House with President Trump and top Democratic and Republican congressional leaders today ended with no word of an agreement that would prevent a government shutdown. Neither side showed any willingness to budge. Republicans want to keep the status quo. Democrats want to extend health care benefits for the Affordable Care Act, Medicaid coverage, and other earlier cuts. House Speaker Mike Johnson accused the Democrats of creating a crisis.
You should go take a look at what they requested. $1.5 trillion in new spending that is unrelated to the ongoing appropriations process.
If Congress does not pass government funding legislation and it is not signed by Trump by Tuesday night, many government offices across the nation will temporarily close. Today, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law aiming to keep people from using powerful AI models for potentially catastrophic activities, like building a bioweapon or shutting down a bank system. This is ABC News.
Final score, 40-40. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Cowboys and the Packers battled through overtime, only to have the game end in a 40-40 tie. It was Micah Parsons' first game back against the Cowboys. What was his reaction to the draw?
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm pissed off. I'm very disappointed. I even told Jordan to the side, thank you for having our back today.
So the Packers are now 2-1-1 heading into their bye. Did the Packers do anything different? I asked Cowboys defensive lineman Kenny Clark.
Yeah, it was all the same. Same stuff we expected. 1-2-1 is way better than 1-3.
Baseball, the Brewers beat the Reds 4-2. NBA, Bucks GM John Horst on the changes he and Doc Rivers made in the offseason.
He and I went into the offseason heavily focused on how can we maximize Giannis's impact on our team? How can we maximize the rest of the players that we acquire?
Giannis unable to attend the press conference. He's grounded in Greece after testing positive for COVID. With Sports on Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Not sure if you guys remember, I broke that whole Tom Holland getting a mild concussion story last week, even though it might not seem all that important given what's happening in the world. In the spirit of real journalism, here's a follow-up on his condition. The 29-year-old is just fine and has been released from the hospital. Sony and Marvel are taking precautions in keeping Holland away from the set for a week to fully recuperate. The studios say this will not delay the release of the film. I can't imagine missing a week of grade school because I bumped my head on the swings. Here is a drama thriller to put on your radar. A House of Dynamite is still 2 weeks away from theaters, but generating a lot of buzz. The plot, a missile is launched at the United States, and there is a race to find out who is behind it and what the response should be. The film's directed by Catherine Bigelow, who oversees a hotshot cast, including Rebecca Ferguson and Idris Elba. The film will be available to stream October 24th after a brief, limited theatrical run. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
As Wisconsin is cheering on Bucky Badger. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A stretch of dry and unseasonably mild temps are ahead. Partly cloudy for tonight, a low in the mid-50s. And a mix of sun and clouds for tomorrow, a high in the upper 70s. More sunshine through the rest of the week. Temps climb through the 80s. Right now it's 73.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
A small conversation can make a big difference. Asking someone if they're okay is important. And during the Suicide Prevention Month, check in. And remember, 988 is always open. A message from the Civic Media Radio Network.
Jane Matnair and Greg.
You ask me if there'll come a time when I grow tired of you.
That is one of those songs that just like makes me feel good. And you kind of forget about it, then you hear it on the radio, and it's so great. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. That song being played by Conrad was inspired by Frank Anderson's visit. Frank is the founder of Wisconsinology.com and a producer and director of movies and commercials, and he joins us now, as he so often does, and it's always great to have him. Frank, before I rudely cut you off before the news, you were telling us about Joey's song and some of the performers there, and I think you were talking about Fountains of Wayne?
Yeah, let me go down real quick now. Ready? Here's the performers. Charlie Behrens will be hosting. Joel Hodgson of MSC3K will be providing comedy. It's going to be great. He's building a giant puppet and everything. Butch Vig, Duke Erickson of Garbage, Vicky and Debbie from the Bangles. We have members of Belly, Big Star, Cheap Trick, Letters to Cleo, the Silver Sun Pickups will be there. Portugal the Man will be there.
Jeez.
Fountains of Wayne will be there. Jane from the Go-Go's, Max Collins from Eve 6, countless more, including instrumental superstars who have played on all your favorite hits. But these superstars will be back with the band, and that is where I am.
I love that. And it's January 9th and 10th at the Sylvie in Madison. Joey's song this year, is it called Freezing Man Festival, or is that something different, Frank?
No, it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's a little bit shortened this year because of corporations are not planning their donations ahead of time because of the political climate, and of course that'll change once that ends.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
If it ends.
Yeah, no kidding. The proceeds go to fighting epilepsy, which is what Joey. So that's so great. Well, I'll have to have Mike on. I know you connected us, but as we get closer to the date, we'll help get the word out.
So,
about
are
that.
you and Conrad going to be there?
You know what? I told you last year I was going to see what I could do about that. But hey, I don't know if you know this, Frank. Well, I haven't really made it official yet, or public yet, but the Godfather of Green Bay is going to be playing at the Atwood Music Hall on December 4th. So if you and the missus or anybody in your family are looking for a road trip, it would be really fun to see you out there. But yeah, I would love to be at Joey's song if I can line it up.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for that heads up.
Yeah, you bet. That's my love letter. It's my love letter to Wisconsin. Frank.
No, it's not. I was just going to say, it's the only film I know of that is not a love letter to the state of Wisconsin.
Oh, I love that bothers you so much.
You
It's
got
so
Tony
hilarious.
Goldwyn as a Godfather. Good gracious, that alone is not a love letter to Wisconsin.
Right. All right. So I'm excited to have you on the show because I saw you posted something on Facebook. It was about Greg Gard and how Madison, or UW-Madison, is going to play basketball in Milwaukee. And it got me thinking. And I remember when I first moved back here, I had dinner with you and our mutual friend, Barry Polterman, who introduced us. And you told me that night at dinner about this rivalry between Madison and Milwaukee, which I thought sounded so ridiculous at first, but it's there. And I don't know if everybody knows about it. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, they should know. Okay, in Madison, people think Milwaukee is somewhere out in the East Coast. They think it's, Boston University, Marquette. And Milwaukee's Catholic, Madison's Protestant or whatever. It's always been that way, and it's a political rivalry. These in Milwaukee, they're hardcore. The ones in Madison, they're more wishy-washy. They're not going to vote the same, ever. And it's always been that way. And it is hardcore, but I think the basketball team is where it really comes down to. It's Marquette versus University of Wisconsin.
Is this
as a kid, holy God, traveling to Marquette to see a game? Oh my, that was a strange event back in the day. It was strange. There's priests in the stands. Where the hell am I?
But do you think it's a valid, I was talking about this earlier with Conrad. I like both. My parents met at Marquette. My brother, my son went to Madison. I loved doing stand-up in Madison. Civic Media is based in Madison. I'm very familiar with Madison. And to slightly lesser degree, Milwaukee. I think they're both fine cities. And I think, I don't know that Wisconsin should, and you say they're at opposite ends, but they're both, even in elections, they're both kind of blue. Are they looking for stuff to argue about or to be different about?
The Milwaukee left means business. It's hardcore, blue collar, hardcore union. Pay me. That's what they say. And I'm going to do a little analogy. Do I have time to do a little analogy?
Absolutely.
Okay. These are two things that really happened to me, and you can tell the difference between the two cities, okay? I parked my car for a shoot in South Milwaukee, pull up in the neighborhood, drive on a public street, drive in front of a house. Door bursts open from the house opposite where I parked. What the hell you doing out there? I go, I'm parking. Well, get the hell out of there. Who told you you could park there? It's a public street. And I'm laughing too hard, but I listened and I parked down the street. I park in front of a house for a shoot in Madison the same year. Lady looks out the window, shuts the curtain. Looks out the window again, shuts the curtain. 5 minutes later, slowly comes out and inches up to me, and I'm just standing there waiting for the crew to arrive and pick me up near the chute. And she says, sir. And I go, yes. And she goes, and you are? And I didn't know what to say. Frank? My name's Frank. Nice to meet you. No. And you are? That was her way of telling me to get the hell off of her lawn and, go. That's the difference between Madison and Milwaukee right there. And I much prefer being screamed at by some Polish guy. I love that.
Right.
You know where you stand. Get the hell out of here.
Well, that's interesting because Madison was just voted, and I have to find the website I saw, as the friendliest city in America.
Yeah. Excuse me, but that's horseshit.
All right, we are on the radio.
What's friendly? What's friendly? Is it that Minnesota nice?
Yeah.
I really hate you. Get the hell out of here. But and you are.
And you are. My guest is Frank Anderson, who knows more about Wisconsin than I will ever know about, and the rivalries within. And Frank, while we're on that topic, you also, that same night we met, you talked about the rivalry between Minnesota and Wisconsin, and that Wisconsin actually has more lakes than Minnesota. But is that a religious rivalry as well, or is that how it started?
No, that's another place. I mean, I can't even cross that boundary, for God's sake, without feeling trepidation. They don't have supper clubs.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
They brandy old-fashioned, maybe a mile inside the border. After that, forget it. What do you want? I want a brandy old-fashioned sour. What the hell is that, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, it's two different cultures, and it is sharp. We've got all of East Europe, right?
Yeah.
We're East Europe. This massive pile of East Europe. East Europe as it existed before World War I, that East Europe, that's Wisconsin. Over there, well, they're Scandinavian, I guess, and, you know, they got some Poles up in Minneapolis. It's cosmopolitan somewhat, but the rest of it is really weird. That's all I got to say about that.
All right, I want to ask you, this is something you posted
Don't get
too.
me started on Michigan, because I know that difference is even stranger.
Oh, that's for another. We could do a couple segments.
And by the way,
yeah,
we don't play hockey. We do not have high school hockey. They have high school hockey in Minnesota and in Michigan the way we have high school football. We don't do that. We have clubs. You know, got to take your kid 70 miles away somewhere to play hockey if he's interested or she's interested.
Oh, that's interesting.
We do not do that.
You're right. And it's kind of big. I mean, where I live in Marinette, hockey's a big deal, but you're right. It's not affiliated with the school. So,
excuse me, where do you live?
Marinette.
Excuse me, where do you live? How many miles from the Michigan border? Excuse me?
Oh, we are right next door, buddy. And there are only 9 weed shops in a town of 8,000 people in Menominee, Michigan. So get in line.
Excellent.
So you also posted this. I thought was hilarious. You shared something that said a bite from a Lone Star tick could lead to meat and dairy allergies. And I have just one question. How do I get bit by a Lone Star tick? Because I could use both to keep the weight off. That's kind of scary.
Well, I mean, the Lone Star tick would devastate Wisconsin, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Cheese curds, forget it. Yeah.
Oh, forget it. No, it's frightening. That's our plague waiting to happen.
Right. All right, Frank, I want to ask you about something else I know you're somewhat familiar with. I've talked about it a little bit on this show, and it's this really cool film with Hugh Jackman that'll be out soon called Lightning and Thunder, Song Sung Blue, about Mike and Claire Sardina, a local phenom duo from Milwaukee. Tell us about this awesome film.
Oh, well, it's based on the documentary Song Sung Blue, which I urge everyone to see. I knew them back in the 90s.
Did you? Oh, nice.
And yeah, they were a band. I mean, they were Thunder and Lightning, and they played the pre-recorded tracks in small bars in Milwaukee. And then out of nowhere, they got this amazing following. People came to sing along to his Neil Diamond bit and her Barbra Streisand bit. And they were huge, and they got married at State Fair. How big is that?
Oh, wow.
And I remember one of our, from our film company, one of our guys went out there with the film crew to film the wedding, and he shot a lot of stuff, which ended up later in the documentary. But the documentary was so interesting to Hollywood types that it became this drama starring Hugh Jackman that's coming out in December. Amazing. And I remember them. And I remember when their career fell, The peak happened, and then it just ended, like anyone's career. You reach that point where, it's hopeless. Just stop, do something else.
Well, I can't wait for the movie.
I don't know. I can't either. And by the way, I'm the guy that they would show up at all these parties, uninvited.
Oh, wow.
And, not uninvited, but because they were celebrities.
Yeah.
So, and I thought, well, God, they are celebrities. They should go in. So I was always the guy that let them in these parties, and someone would always go, "Who let Thunder and Lightning in the party?" When I did, and you go, "Well, they weren't invited." These guys are stars. Why aren't they invited?
All right, so when we got to do a short break, but I want to ask you, Frank, where you rate, and you can think about this during this short break, like Neil Diamond, his legacy, because I know everybody knows Sweet Caroline, but I'm kind of on a Neil Diamond kick lately, and then I'm going to also ask Frank, folks, and don't go away for this, because he's going to tell you what Wisconsin product is the reason Italian food is so tasty. And this is a proven fact, too, because Frank can trace everything to Wisconsin, which I love. We're going to do that. Tonight's keyword, once again, for our Text to Win multi-state contest is chance, CHANCE, chance. Text that in on the app. And for our Text to Win green and gold multi-state contest, folks, we're coming right back. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Reach, engage, grow with Civic Media. Log on civicmedia.us/advertise.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Wisconsin. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hey Green Bay, a budget listening session is almost here. It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411 for you. And on Thursday, October 2nd at Preble Park starting at 5:30 p.m., it's a Green Bay Districts 1, 3, 5, and 6 budget listening session on the 2026 city budget. Green Bay Alders, Jennifer Grant, Bill Morgan, Craig Stevens, and Joey Presley are ready to provide residents with an opportunity to share their priorities, concerns, and suggestions for this upcoming budget. Learn more about this opportunity to be heard by going to WGBW.FM and clicking events.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Health officials say close to 1,000 people in Wisconsin die by suicide every year. It's Suicide Prevention Month, and if you are struggling, call 988 anytime for support. A message from the Civic Media Radio Network. You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
Your local Civic Media radio station is your source for real news and great conversation, plus fun and exciting contests. For a complete list of contest rules, log on wgbw.fm/contest-terms. As Wisconsin has a fish fry on a Friday night, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Girl, you'll be your woman soon. Love you so much, can't count all the ways I'd die for you, girl, and all they can
I'm Pete
say
Schwaba.
is
This is Nite Lite. We have a few more minutes on this Monday night show. Tomorrow night on the show, Sean Hanisch, the director of Just a Bit Outside, will be here. Sean has been here a lot, Conrad, but he's always fun to talk to. And he's not here to talk about Just a Bit Outside. He's behind a new film that will hit theaters called No Packers, No Life. We've had the director on the show several times, Craig Benzine. It'll be good to talk to Sean about a movie you can see in theaters soon. And then recently retired Chris Foran from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He wrote about entertainment for years, and we always enjoy talking to Chris. He'll be here tomorrow night as well. Right now, we have a few minutes left with my current guest, Frank Anderson. Frank, are you a Neil Diamond fan? Where do you rank him? I think everybody thinks of Sweet Caroline, but man, oh man, I mean, Solitary Man. He's great.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the all-time greats. He's the king of Tin Pan Alley. it's undeniable. It's just undeniable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where you know so much more about music than me, and I think a lot of people, or at least when I was younger, thought he was kind of cheesy, and then you discover his music, and it's like the one we just heard, or Song Sung Blue. I heard Johnny Cash singing "Solitary Man" recently. All these great songs, and I love them.
That song alone is so incredible.
Yeah.
The chord structure and how he starts it, and it sucks you right in. And by the way, cheesy is good.
Yeah, great.
Hip, say goodbye to that crap in 2 years because it's never going to come back, and you'll wonder, what the hell was I thinking? But you'll be singing Neil Diamond forever and ever.
Absolutely. All right. So before we let you go, Frank, I want to ask you about this beloved ingredient in Italian food. And supposedly it's why Italian food is the most tasty food. And you can trace that back to Wisconsin. You can find this kind of stuff on Wisconsinology.com, folks. So what is that ingredient, Frank?
Parmigiano.
Yes.
But that touches something deeper. I'm sorry. They don't make cheese as good as we do.
In Italy?
Nobody does.
Okay.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And the annual cheese contest, whatever that is, which is kind of interesting. Wisconsin stands alone in winning all the medals. I mean, not every one.
Sure.
We let them win a few. But we come back and win the next year. And the irony of this year's international cheese event was that a Wisconsin cheesemaker won a huge medal for Connecticut or something like that. But when you get down to it, representing America, Wisconsin's easily 70% of what is out there in the international version of the cheese medals.
It's so great. I thought it was going to be like garlic or oil, and then I read further down, and it's underneath the headline. I think this was in Slate. It says, a notorious scholar of Italian cuisine claimed that the most authentic Parmesan cheese is made in Wisconsin. So there you go. Another thing you've tied to Wisconsin. I love that, Frank.
Well, it's huge, and we are so lucky, unlike Minnesotans, to have such wonderful things on our store shelves.
All right, I want to get one more quick thing in here. Let's do this. Piggybacking on the cheese, we've got about 2 minutes left. The Wizard of Oz premiered in Wisconsin before it premiered nationally, right?
Right, it premiered in Green Bay.
How do you like that? How did that happen?
Green Bay doesn't celebrate it.
No, right.
It premiered 3 days later in Oconomowoc, and they turned it into an entire festival.
Yeah, that's not
But it premiered in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the next day in Appleton.
Before it premiered nationally, that's what I thought was so interesting.
Well, they had previews, in
Right.
Hollywood. They always have previews
Sure.
so they can get the scorecards out, right? See what they need to cut.
Right.
But the actual finished film was first shown in Green Bay.
Well, all right.
That we know of so far until some other little town pops up, but none have.
No, but let's keep it right here in Wisconsin. That's another thing we can tie here to Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
Frank,
a flurry of premieres, by the way, a flurry.
As usual, buddy, so much fun. We did not get to the farting preacher, which is the first viral video on VHS ever, but we will maybe pick up there.
Oh yeah, you have to go to me personally on Facebook for all that stuff.
Right. Follow Frank on Facebook or look him up at Wisconsinology.com. Frank, always fun, buddy. Thank you so much, as always, for your time.
Thanks, Pete.
You got it. All right, Frank Anderson, folks. And I'm not kidding. Like, Wisconsinology, that Parmesan cheese story, that was from Wisconsinology. Great stuff there. Check it out. And, yeah, what am I forgetting, Con?
I don't know.
Did we get everything?
I think you're...
Is this just so crazy that we got through everything? Are we good on text?
Well, we do got one Steady Eddie text.
Where's that? I got all these keywords. Oh, there's Steady Eddie. Oh, thank you for pointing that out. I hate to miss a Steady Eddie text. All right, Steady Eddie says, he's in the 608, by the way. Do you know that, Con?
I think so.
He's one of our 608ers. He says, Pete, I make my coffee at home. I drink it strong and black. Pete's is my favorite. Pete. Helpful hint. After you brew your coffee in a coffee maker, pour it into a thermos. The coffee will go bitter if you keep it on the warmer, but it will stay tasty all day in the thermos. Yes, that is true, Steady Eddie. The problem is it never occurs to me to put coffee in a thermos while I'm at home. But why wouldn't I? There's no rules to this, right?
I don't think so.
All right. Hey, folks, this is fun. Thank you so much for your text tonight. It was fun talking about coffee on National Coffee Day. And I don't know. Thank you to Frank Anderson. Thank you to Mike Lucas. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And good luck in the contest. Another fun night is right around the corner tomorrow night. A Tuesday edition of Nite Lite waits in the wings. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin.
If it happens in Wisconsin, you'll hear